So I was just going over to close the window, and I realized that the sun was setting in a weird position, and there's a lot of darkness around out there, but the sun is still shining very brightly through it all. And I think that is kind of symbolic because lately there's been a lot of darkness around. A lot of negativity, a lot of tests, a lot of tribulations, a lot of pokety pokes and aggravations, people doing hateful things, and tests of will and tests of strength. I literally allowed myself to get to a place where I couldn't eat, where I couldn't walk. I chose to stick it through and stick it out and suppress it and ignore it and keep it to myself and caring and compassionate and try to fix. But what I need to do is see others for who they are instead of who I wish they could be or who I hoped they might become, and just accept them as they are, love them as they are. But when they're harming me, or when they're slowing me down from my success, or I feel like I need to hide my success in order to keep other people comfortable, or when I feel like, let me do something to go out of my way to maybe hopefully get you to no longer be upset with me. Let me buy your love. Let me buy your affection. Let me give to you everything I have inside. Let me wait until I literally have no food, bruises on my body, matching things all over the place. Let me know all along what's going on and ignore it and put it down and pretend, oh, no, no, no. Let me question myself. Let me question my sanity. Let me think that I'm crazy. Because I wouldn't do that to anybody. So I don't think they would actually do it to me. But that's not how this world works. And that's not how everybody is. But we can call back our power at any moment, at any time. And we can shine bright, even in all the darkness, even in the hate, even in the pain, even in the suffering, even in the aggravation, even when you get tested and put down and find yourself back on the ground, trying to build up, trying to pull yourself along, coaching others around you. But eventually they might fall. You have to let them go, and you have to do what's right in your own world and in your own life. And even if they come and they try to bring you down, they send their darkness and their hate and their little games that they play, you can still shine brighter. You can still be better. You can still rise up and be a go-getter. Work hard. Do good. Be strong. But don't let anybody make you a fool. Don't let it go so long that you don't have food. Don't let it go so long that you can't even walk. Don't let it go so long just listening to false talk. Listen to your inner truth. And listen to those who you know love you. Give gratitude for those people in your life who are truly there for you, day and night, who love your light, who celebrate it with you, who won't get mad, who won't push, who won't try to harm, who won't give you the silence when you need the support, who won't abandon when they get tricked and fooled into doing those things they do. Just shine your light. Just be that bright light. And know, those who see will understand. And those who don't, they're not there for you and they never were. They never will be. They're not the right energy. If they think that you're the bad one, they miscommunicate, and you know that's not what it is inside. Be loyal to your innermost truth. Follow the way when all others abandon. Walk the path of your own heart. I found this today, 5:55 on the clock, in my atrium. And it's funny because it was given to me from a friend a long time ago. And I hung it in the atrium, and I haven't even really looked at it in so long because of where it was hung. It just wasn't in a good position. But as you can see, it's kind of dimmed in the light out there. It's faded over time. And this was somebody that was my best friend. Somebody that I really loved. Somebody that I thought was there for me. They couldn't wait for me to come move here because they didn't like going to the other place that we went to work. Because they could see the falls in the others. They could see the lies and the things that were happening. They could see the fake. They could see the false. But then someone else showed up, and every single one of the people in my life fell away, one after one. And it was really hard because my mother had just died, and these women who were 50 plus years old kept telling me, I'm your spirit mom, I'm your spirit mom, I'm your spirit mom. And my mom was never good to me. You know, like, she was good to me at different times. She's not a horrible, horrible person, but like growing up, when I would try to get good grades, be the good kid, because she would tell, oh, she's such a good kid. She's such a good kid. But when it was just us, I didn't hear that too often. And she would say that about, oh, she was such a good kid, she'd get her own breakfast at like 3. In the back of my head, I'm like, probably starting stuff, you know? But when I get good grades, it wasn't good enough. And I didn't know or realize for the longest time that it's because it upset her that I did good. She didn't like that, you know? It made her feel a certain way. She didn't like that I grew up and became beautiful, and that I didn't have the triggers that she had about it. Oh, you'll see when you get older. You're going to freak out. Wait till you hit 30. I'm almost 40. I'm 39. I still haven't had that moment of, oh my God, I'm getting so old and ugly and gross. Because I've never really done that. I've never focused on it. And I thought about it like recently, how I've always turned mirrors around and faced them the other way and had a fear of them. And I used to think of it in a negative way, but it's like, if I was really that much of an asshole, like a narcissist, I don't think I'd be like that way about mirrors. I'd be like, oh, look at how beautiful I am, you know? I don't have any mirrors in here because they're portals. People attack you through them. And I was deathly afraid of them as a kid. So the only times that I use mirrors is like when I'm putting on makeup or something, which I don't do that often. And I don't feel ugly. I know I'm not. But I don't sit around also being like, oh my God, I'm the most gorgeous thing ever. But it took me a long time to get to that place to even acknowledge and admit that I am pretty. I am beautiful. But so are you. You could be the most gorgeous woman on the planet with all the right structures and all the right sizes, but still be hideous if you're evil inside or conceited. And there's a difference between being conceited and being confident. But in this world, there's a fine line between what's accepted and what's not accepted. There's a fine line between where you're accepted and where you're not accepted. And you're going to find yourself in boxes along the way. People want to keep you in their box. That's where they like you. When you're doing that for me, I love you. When you're doing that, oh yeah, great. Well, you're struggling and suffering and it makes me feel better about myself. Awesome. Oh, you did something good? Oh, you did something better than me? You're breaking out of that box and I'm going to walk away now. Or I'm going to ignore you. Or I'm going to start acting different and you're not going to know why. You're going to sense it. You're going to feel it because you're going to catch on over time. But even mentioning it, talking to other people, it's not an easy, fun, fucking situation. Because You don't want to be looked at as conceited. You don't want to be looked at as an asshole or full of yourself. But when the only thing that had changed on your behaviors or your side is the way that you've been showing up, things have been improving, things are getting better. You're running out of that time that you had where it was like, let me give it all to you, and let me give it all to you, and let me give it all to you. That's been the biggest trigger in people's that I've noticed in my life. When I start, not many of people were okay with it. They said they were, and some of them were, until a degree. Till I was no longer open fucking food, open buffet. People will abandon you. And you can choose to dim your light and stay stuck and go down where they accept you. Or you can rise up. But remember that misery loves company. And it's a miserable fucking place to stay out of the light. Or to stay out of your shine. If you get abandoned, they weren't meant for you. If they don't want to see you celebrate and successful, don't keep them in your life. I'm sure I've messed up along the way too. I'm sure I've had moments where I did things that I shouldn't have done. But I'll openly admit it, and I'll apologize. But I will never understand that type of shit. I literally have given so much to so many people, or sacrificed so much for so many people, because I don't want to leave them behind. I don't want them to suffer and struggle. And all the people that left me behind at that time, if they didn't, I would have brought them all with me as I was rising. Don't abandon your people just because they're doing good. Celebrate with them, because then you will too. Love people.